Chapter 7. It wasn't quite snowing, but a nice, crisp, cold day for a late fall's morning. I had ridden out to the creek area looking for some nice fish or something to cook up on the morning's fire. I walked around the creek's edge looking in the tall grass, hoping a nice jackrabbit might spook and run across my direction. Given my accuracy and quick draw ability, the poor varmint didn't have much of a chance. I thought I'd heard something over yonder, so I stopped moving, making as quiet as I could. At first I was unable to make out what I was hearing because the creek's ambient sound blurred the beautiful noise. I hedged in the direction of the noise and was quiet as a creeping mountain lion. As I got closer, I could surely hear that it was a female voice singing like an angel. Once I was within hearing distance, I realized that she was singing in a language that I didn't understand. I tiptoed up, looking through the bushes, and could now see that it was my little female Indian friend. I focused in to get a look at her. I was so quiet that she had no idea that I was even there. As she turned to her side, I felt something twinge at my heart. She was beautiful. I stared for what seemed like the longest time. I didn't want to scare her, but I knew that I meant no harm to her. I reached down, grabbing a handful of daisies, hoping it would be a peace offering. When I conjured up the courage, I let out the slightest throat-clearing noise, hoping to gently get her attention. I wasn't far from her, so she couldn't really get up and run. As soon as she heard my verbal gesture, she whirled around, great fear on her face. I stepped forward quickly. "It's okay. I'm not going to hurt you, I promise." She began to stand, taking a step backward, looking me over nervously. Again, I reassured her, "I won't hurt you, I promise." She nervously looked at the flowers and back at me. I slowly reached forward with the flowers toward her. She cringed a bit. I softened my eyes and reached a little bit further. "For you," I said. She didn't respond. My brain was scrambling in the moment. I was a bit nervous too. "You have a beautiful singing voice, you know." She seemed to relax a bit, as if she understood what I just said. "My name is Chance. What's your name?" She didn't answer. After a long pause, I said, "Cat got your tongue?" She looked me right in the eye. Again, I felt my heart flutter. In very broken English, she responded, "Princess Singing Grass." I responded with a very confused tone in my voice. "What did you say?" "My people call me Princess Singing Grass." I paused for a moment. "Princess Singing Grass?" I was about to say, "What kind of name is that?" But reflecting on the present moment, her singing in the grass, it made perfect sense. "Is that what people call you?" She looked at me with a bit of a puzzled look on her face. I put my hands on my chest in an attempt to clarify. "My name is Chance Walker. What is your name?" I'm not sure why, but I was talking way too loud, trying to get her to understand. She smiled a bit and put her hands on her chest. "Aylin is my name." I was a bit stunned that she responded and understood what I was trying to say. "Aylin is your name?" She nodded yes. "Aylin, that is a beautiful name." She immediately smiled back at me. "Aylin means happiness." I smiled. "Well, chance means that you never leave a stone unturned. You can't let chances in life go by without at least giving it a try." As I was jabbering on, I looked up at her, and she had an almost dizzy look on her face. Obviously, I was talking too fast and way over her head in the English language. I stopped myself and blushed just a bit. "I'm sorry, I'm just going on and on." She smiled. "It's okay. You know, I hope you don't mind me asking, but you speak English very well for an Indian." "You mean for a Sioux Indian?" Very indignant, she responded. I noticed right away that she had a bit of fire burning inside her. "How did you learn to speak so well?" "My parents worked for the white man as a house servant, so I was around everyone speaking English all the time growing up. My parents thought it was important for me to learn both languages. Aylin then looked down at the flowers she was holding. "Thank you for the flowers." "You're welcome. I was just trying to let you know that you need not be afraid of me." She still seemed a bit unsure. "I would think with you being around a white man so much that you wouldn't be so unsure." Aylin tensed up. "Well, a Civil War man killed both of my parents right in front of me. I was just a little girl." She paused and tears welled up in her eyes. She turned away almost with embarrassment in her eyes. Caught up in the moment, I stepped forward, put my hand on her shoulder. She immediately turned looking at me, caught a bit off guard that I was touching her. It's okay, Aylin. I know how you feel." Aylin pulled away. "Nobody knows how I feel. To have everything you cared about taken away. To have your 8 father and Ina mother killed for a senseless reason. What kind of animal would kill someone for the color of their skin? Don't go telling me, Chance Walker, that you know how I feel." "Aylin, but I do know how you feel." I paused for a second. Tears began to fill my eyes. "Aylin, my parents too were killed by a Civil War man. They were also killed because my pa had to stand on his principle. But a senseless death for my ma and pa as well." Again, I paused and swallowed hard. I had a second woman that I saw as my ma, and she too was murdered by a worthless, no-good sidewinder. The man that killed my ma and pa, he's rotting in prison, but that'll never be good enough for him taking my ma and pa. Aylin looked at Chance with a look of compassion, stepping forward, putting her hand on his shoulder. "Then you do know the empty feeling of having no one." Chance looked deep into Aylin's eyes and her back at him. Chance wiped his eyes and smiled at Aylin with a bit of comfort, knowing someone shared his life struggle. Aylin and Chance spent the rest of the day sitting by the creek talking and getting to know each other. "Aylin, I'd like to see you again. I hope that's not too forward. I had a good day sitting and talking with you." "I did too, Chance. I would like that." "When could we meet again, Aylin?" "I'll be back at the creek after 2 sunsets." Chance smiled. "Then 2 sunsets it will be. I have to get back so they aren't worrying about me. I'll see you soon." Aylin smiled at Chance.